So, you've decided to go on the journey. I hope you brought a lot of friends, because this is not gonna be easy. Let's take a look at the book and see what happens next. On the first day of Frozen Celeste, Psychosaurus has heard that his friends have actually changed, and also new friends have showed up. He decided to check them out.
Okay, so what do we have here? New legendary advisors. La la la. Bird set. Well, for the ingredients. Grad engineer. Themistocles. Golden age. Effect. Ballistas cost 1 less population. Attack 50% faster and have +1 area damage per deal. 50% less damage per hit. Okay. One less space, but not their cost. Okay, so it allows me to train bigger army, attack faster. That sounds good. At +1 area damage, so better in these huge fights. But deal 50% less damage per hit. Hmm. So one less population, but ballistas cost 5 population. So that means if I train 4 ballistas, I can get actually one more ballista, which already sounds pretty good. Then they attack 50% faster, so their damage per second is going to go higher by 50%. So we are at 150%, but deal 50% less damage per hit. So their damage is actually 75% per second. And then the area damage. Okay, so if they do 75% damage, that means 4 ballistas do the same damage as 3 ballistas originally, but I get 5, so that's additional 75%, so that's 375% compared to the original 400% if I had only 4 ballistas. So overall, I'll do less damage. That means the main factor is gonna be the area damage. I don't see that huge effect on this one. I see, I see the huge impact through the area damage, but because it's lower damage, 50%. I think that's too much. I think that's too much. We are talking about a huge area, right? Ballistas have the area of freeze. That's already pretty huge. Then you add +1. Okay, so more damage in area, bigger battles, but they are weaker overall. Honestly, I don't like it that much. Only these huge battles, yes. So it's gonna be situational kinda on these huge battles. But at least like what kind of units? Like infantry, some foot archers, and that's about it. Everything else is kinda bad because it's usually some bigger unit. So they won't hit that much. And if anything, what is the ballista best at? It's good against ranged units, since ranged units don't have crush armor. most likely. It's okay against infantry, but it also depends on which infantry. And then buildings. So against buildings, I can say, hey, it's worse because we have less damage, and the area does not help that much. Maybe against like small houses, but that's about it. Against ranged units, there has to be a lot of ranged units and a lot of infantry. But against infantry, I would rather go with Gastrofetters. I would rather go with Gastrofetters. They just do so much damage anyway. Why would I pick Ballista over Gastrofetters if I had to fight infantry? And even without the area damage, I think they're already pretty good against ranged units. I would I would rather not have this one. I don't know. That's my honest opinion. I think it's better to just. I think they should lower the damage reduction to. I think it should be high, but it should be like 40%. That's my opinion. I think this is too much. Unless it's like really huge battle, I don't think this is gonna have much impact. And if anything, I would rather go with Seleucus. That's 100. That gives me 30% damage to my ballistas. And all of a sudden my 4 ballistas have 520% damage. Compared to these 4 ballistas that have 300% damage. Huge difference. I would rather go with Seleucus. I think unless they lower the damage reduction, I don't think this guy is gonna be that good. Okay, what's this? A corn farmer and its you, Grand Engineer, Themistocles decided to put the farming life behind and take on learning mathematics and ballistics, perfecting the great ballista to allow it to fire faster and hit in a bigger area than before. Make way, Gastrofetes. The new Greek ballistas are here to tear through the enemy armies in legendary quests now. I honestly don't think so. I honestly don't think so. Cavalry just has high crush armor against siege. That's like the only thing that comes to my mind. It's like siege, but I would rather have high damage over the AoE to deal with the siege faster. Ranged units, that's like the only time with infantry. And usually foot archers are like dog sotters, Gastrafers and such. I honestly, yeah, I don't like him. Let's move on. Egyptian, Sobek Spear Sharpener. Okay, Spearman and Axeman have 50% more health, train in 25% less time, and move 25% faster. Well, okay, that sounds better. That sounds like an option. I would definitely pick this. For an Egyptian going like strong infantry. The infantry is not bad, they already train pretty fast and adding 25% less time. So fast infantry, you can, or I should say, yeah, an army you can train fast, very fast actually, because spearmen already have low training time. With the champion upgrade, the axemen, they have naturally low training time, and even 25 less. Yeah, that's just gonna be fast army out of nowhere. We add that they have 50% more health, making them much tougher. I think that's one of their main problems, that they have low health. So in legendary quest it becomes a great issue, and they will just die fast. And then you also get the movement speed, so you can actually, I mean, 25% movement speed, that's a lot. This is gonna be good advice. I like this one. I like this one. It just opens the Egyptians the barracks infantry as an option. I like it a lot. Joining her sisters, blah blah blah. Boost spearmen and axemen to provide new options for the Egypt in legendary quest. Remember to bring some priestesses of Ra. Obviously, those are already pretty fast, so yeah. With you when using these two units. Yeah, obviously, some healing support. And with their health being higher, they can survive a lot more, definitely. Great option. Okay, Persians. Commander Isfandiar unlocks unique upgrades at the Immortal Camp. So we got Pashotan's Strength, plus 50% melee, critical hit chance. Kayani the Bloodline, plus 50% bonus damage protection. Tamarisk Arrows, plus 50% ranged attack, maximum range. Attack maximum range, okay. You can only choose one of these upgrades in each quest. Well, I'm not a Persian player. I don't really like Persians, and I never truly liked Immortals. But I think they are strong units. I just don't know how to use them properly. With this, what I see. So melee critical hit chance. Okay, so you either do high melee damage, attack further away, or they survive better. Okay, I like this because it's like adaptable to players' playstyle in some way. You can adapt your immortals to a situation. Only one in each quest, okay. So you can try it. So in this quest it might be better to go this, in this quest this, okay. I like the crit chance, but melee I never like the fact that immortals actually cost quite a lot of resources. So and if you wanna train them faster, they're gonna cost you even more, which is very annoying. And if I pick this, then I wanna go for melee fights with these, which makes them vulnerable to like archers. And in legendary quests, that's kind of huge problem in my opinion. This one makes them more survivable, and since it's bonus damage protection, that actually is very good in legendary quests. I like this one a lot. With this one, why would I go for higher range? Why wouldn't I just go for Bowman or Takabara, right? I think Immortals just have a lot of health, and I cannot forget they actually also get Persians also get the Silver Age Advisor for Immortals that gives more health and lower training time. I think giving them range is just a mistake in some way, and I would rather go with like Bowman and Takabara over this one, and I wouldn't go Immortals. Bonus damage protection sounds good with me. I like this one most, if you ask me, but I think you can adapt. Like I said, I'm not Persian player, so I'll leave that to you. Okay, being Rustam, most fierce rival, Commander Esfandia allows you to further specialize your Persian immortals in quest, providing extra bonuses depending on your playstyle or the quest you are playing. Remember, you can only research one of these upgrades in the quest. Once you research one of these free upgrades, the other two become unavailable for the rest of the quest. Yeah. I like this one, but I'm not Persian, okay? Celts for Chief Commentorius. I know you from the basic quest line for the Celts. Okay, effect. Horsemen and Carpentoms deal 25% more damage. Have 25% more health and deal 60% bonus damage against buildings. Okay, so this is taking kills a little bit into a different direction, into their stable units. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of their stable units. I don't really like horsemen because I think they are expensive and not that great. And carpetons, I never even bothered to like truly try those out properly, so that's my problem with that. More damage, more health, obviously good thing. Damage against buildings. Okay, so horsemen can be like, so they can behave like raiding unit to raise some buildings, I guess. I would rather go with World Raiders, honestly. This is more of a food problem. This horseman costs a lot more food than the World Raiders, so this game. So if I would have a problem with getting enough gold for the World Raider, then I guess this is an option. I don't know. I just don't like horsemen, and going stables just for the carpenters. I don't know. I think it's a good option. If I would want to try something untraditional, then this is definitely an interesting option. There's another one of the mighty Celtic warlords, War Chief Commentorius focuses on Celtic stable units, the Horseman and the Carpenton. He will be joining the ranks of other Celtic legendary advisors, Bran and Reynolds, obviously. Okay, I kinda like him. Chariot Rider Sargon. War chariots and chariot archers attack 30% faster and farther. War chariots gain +2 area damage. Okay, so those are two late game, or I should say golden age units. War chariots is the big one. Entire range. Chariot archers, just chariot archers. So both attack faster. Okay, they have nice damage. Oh, and further. Okay, okay, they also get range. Okay. I mean, they both come out of stables, so already I can also train some lancers throughout the mixture. It's kinda, when I think about it, I'm thinking of Nebuchadnezzar for the stable units getting 12% more damage, but this is actually more focused on the chariot units. So only two of those units attack faster. Okay, I know chariot archers do a lot of damage, so that already sounds very good. War chariots, they are great against ranged units, and once you get the champion upgrade, even against siege, however, against siege I would rather not use them. They attack further, so they are a little bit more safer. The only problem I have with these, both units take a lot of space. War chariots takes 5, and chariot archers take 3. That's like the only problem I have with those units, but chariot archers are very cheap. War chariots can survive a lot of damage, and also getting area damage. I think war chariots are gonna become like they'll slaughter the enemy ranged units, especially when there's like multiple of those and they attack faster from greater distance. Yeah, that's gonna be slaughter. I like this. I like this. Making them stronger. 2 units that are already like taking a lot of space. I like it a lot. Fascinated by chariots and everything that is wheel-driven, chariot riders are gone. Considerably bolsters the strength of Babylonian chariot archers and war chariots, allowing players to use these units in legendary quests more efficiently. Bonus, he is also fascinated by arrows and other shiny pointy things. Javelins, I suppose. Okay, that was 5 of those, right? So yeah, last one. Norse. Norse Lord Finulfr. Effect: Horsemen cost 1 less population, have 35% more health, deal 50% bonus damage against buildings. Okay, so we have, what are the other two? Beorix for gold, that is already pretty good. Then we have Emundra for the Ulfhedin and War Dogs. And now we are heading for the Horsemen. Okay. So you specialize that one unit, one less population, so that means they cost only one population. Okay, but still same cost, so that means I can train. If I had 30 horsemen, then I can train with this guy all of a sudden 60 horsemen out of nowhere. I mean, I like it, like, sounds already good with just this one thing. Then they have 35% more health. I I think that's a lot actually. Honestly, if I compare it to like the Greek one for the cavalry, that one gives what 15% health. I mean, it's for 3 units, but if you think about it, that you have 2 of those units, you double the amount of those units. That's actually insane. That one also gives movement speed. Ah, I think this one is much stronger. Yo, Project Celestine, can you change? Can you change the Greek one? This one, if I compare this one to that one, this one sounds much more busted. Oh my god. Oh my god. This sounds so busted. I can't believe it. One population, so double the size of the army. That means overall I can double my damage, double my health. That is already increased by 35%. And then they also do bonus damage against buildings. I I like this one most. Like I think this one is the most broken one of those. Out of all these I've seen, with the one for the ballista. Okay, I think that's very situational. I like this one. It goes for the infantry. I like it. This one adaptability for the immortals. Stable units. Okay, heavy units. And then all of a sudden horsemen. I can have tons of those. I think this one is gonna have a huge impact. If I don't wanna go for infantry, then definitely I'll choose this one. I'll choose this one no matter what. I like this one most. Slightly upset about the fact that Warrior Bjorix and Chief Munder have already bought all the nice wolfskin coats, in particular the white and black ones, and left only the brown one in the shop. Oslord Finulfr rides into battle on his mighty steed, increasing the combat viability of Norse horsemen. In quest, hey, he may not have the prettiest wolfskin coat, but we think he has the mightiest beard of them all. Honestly, I think so as well. I think this one is gonna have a huge impact. And I think the Norse cavalry is already pretty good cavalry. When I think about the Raiders as a cavalry that takes only one population, that is actually perfect for raiding. I think that's really strong cavalry already on its own. And then you add horsemen which I think that is the best anti cavalry unit I can think of. If I had to compare it to Celtic horsemen, prodromos, and camels, I think the Norse horseman is the best of all. And all of a sudden you add this, yes, I think going mass horseman is gonna be very interesting. Yeah. Patch 23rd, obviously. My most favorite is one, least favorite, the Greek one again. I don't know why. I feel like the Greek ones are like the worst when I take a look at them on the. I think they are good, but if I compare them to the others, I don't find them being that great. Okay, so that was the legendary advisors. Let's take a look at the advisor reworks and changes. So greetings, blah blah blah. Here's the list of changes in alphabetical order. Okay, Alexander the Great. Toxotype does attack 30% faster and can attack and see 20% farther. Old stats, Toxotype does attack. So they get 5% attack rate, 10% range, and line of sight. I think he needed it. I kinda like the idea of going for Toxotes and Peltas, especially Toxotes compared to Gastraphetes. But I think at the end you would just get the same result as with Gastraphetes, and for Gastraphetes you actually wouldn't need an advisor. So I think this one Alexander needed the buff, definitely. I think in my opinion, he was one of the worst legendary advisors that were in the game. These changes are applied to advisors. He definitely could use some buff. Okay, I'm gonna advise. So that is the Egyptian one. New effect. All upgrades cost okay 20 to 50% less gold. Where the old effect was temple upgrades cost 75% less. And also moved to Bronze Age. Okay, I like this one very much. I would say the most important temple upgrades are actually at the Temple of Ra, and that is the range for healing and stronger healing, and that's very important since Priestess of Ra is like important part of your early army as an Egyptian, I think. And with the infantry units, I mean the spearmen and axemen are good units, but they have low health, so they need the healing support. With this, I can actually get those upgrades a little bit sooner, and I don't need that much gold. And also, that's all upgrades, so I believe that's not gonna only affect like the temple upgrades. It's gonna affect also the champion upgrades. So cheaper. So it's gonna mean cheaper spearman champion upgrade. Okay. I mean 75 gold for that upgrade. And then all of a sudden spearman costs no gold. I like it. But not only the champion upgrade, right? It's gonna be also the armory upgrades. And also the barracks stables upgrades. Yeah, it's gonna save you a lot of gold. I like it. I like it. I like the comfort because of I like the comfort of lower cost. That means that I don't have to focus that much on gold mining, and I can rather, or I can use that gold for my army. Although as an Egyptian, where I could use it, I guess priests. Oh yeah, that's a fact. I need gold for the priestess of Ra. If I save the gold from the upgrades, especially the spearman champion, then all of a sudden I can have the army of spearmen while selling the gold and get like a priestess sooner. Yeah, I like it a lot. It can help me get some priestesses sooner. Mm, yeah, it makes more sense. I actually like this a lot more. Architect Tycho, new effect, wonders cost less from 20 to 50% and built in 20 to 50% less time. Artifact wonders cost. That was just the cost. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I don't think you would ever use this one except for the wonder quest where you are supposed to build the wonder within 20 minutes. I think those are the quests. I think he should stay in Golden Age definitely, since wonders are available since the Golden Age. Yeah, I like it. I like him as the option for the wonders on certain quests. It still can be good, but I believe this one was some different advisor. I think in Nanos is his name that had the build time, and I kinda hate the fact that it's separated. You don't build wonders, and the only time it would be useful would be like PvP wonder race, but you I don't think you play PvP with otherwise play PvP with the champion mode on, and that's where you don't get the advisors. So already you don't get him. Yeah, pretty much one race. I like him still being the option, but only limited usage, I would say. Yeah, so is this architect Tycho belongs to an era where advisors could be used in PvP mode, allowing players to construct wonders in order to win their matches. Advisors no longer work in champion mode PvP, so he is made pretty redundant currently. Exactly. However, having quests such as wonder races and possibly more in the future, okay, we can expect probably something like that. Where wonders are still the point of focus, we would like to keep his general effect intact, while also giving him the bonuses that Gignanos, and combining both of them into one advisor. See more details about Gignanos in his own spotlight below. Okay, moving on. Chief Wonder. So the legendary new stats. Wolverines have 30% more health, attack 20% faster. War dogs have 355% more health, and 36 additional can be created. 36? I'm seeing this right. I'm not crazy. Okay, I think the build limit is like 24 once you get the upgrade, so you can have up to 60 dogs. That's funny. And the old stats. Wolverines attack and move 20% faster, deal bonus damage against siege units. War dogs have 150% more health. So for the war dogs, obviously that's a buff. More health, 20%, that's actually a lot. I like it. And even 24 more dogs. I love it. I actually love the buff for the dogs. And the Wolverine's difference is the attack speed is there. Yeah. So they lost the movement speed and the bonus damage against siege units, but they have more health. I think that's more useful. I think Wolverines could use the health booster than the movement speed. I like it. I like this change. More doggies, more fun. Who doesn't like more dogs in their army? I usually don't care. I don't forget about them at all. But with this one, I think it's gonna be an option. The Chieftain Tomatoes moved to Bronze Age. Okay, I think he needed this. What he does, I think, is like is for the town centers, gives them health, damage, and lower build time. I think that's all. I think he needed it. I think he came out too late that it was not worth getting him. I think it was kind of wasted in Golden Age. And I agree moving him into the Bronze Age. That means I can get out my town centers sooner since since he is in Bronze Age. Once I reach Bronze Age, okay, all my town centers actually build faster. So once I have enough resources, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. While having a very interesting effect, we believe that Chieftain Tomatoes comes into play way too late. When players are in age 4, they are usually not much in need of having stronger town centers. Exactly. So we are moving him into age 2 where he can be used in early defenses much more effectively and to also free up the precious age 4 advisor slots for other options. I agree. I think he needed it. Commander Borgios, that's cheaper fortresses. Now it's what? Fortresses and guard towers cost from 6 to 15% less. Okay, so they buffed him. Then he affects also guard towers, and we are talking about wood and stone, right? I like it, but there's also the stonemason, I believe, right? Let's see. As long as senior mason Stephanus exists, this advisor would always be outshined, so we are making him affect guard towers as well as forts, increasing both their wood and stone cost, but to a lesser extent compared to Stephanus, rather than only decreasing their stone cost like senior mason Stephanus does. I agree. I think he needed it, and I don't think even that the wood is like much of the issue, but that might depend on the map, on the quest. I think stone is a greater issue. Anyway, so I would rather go with the stonemason, but hey, it's an option. It's an option. It's rather spread amongst those two resources rather than just the one. So okay, I like it. I like it. Engineer Civic. I think you are the health for the walls. Yeah, I think he came too late. Walls usually are easily destroyed in Golden Age, since most civs have a unit with splash damage, so all of a sudden it becomes very easy to break through walls. If you have, as I use my champions or berserkers, it is very noticeable. So yeah, development teams can see chieftain with tomatoes. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. General Harem, that's only line of sight for cavalry. So now it's what? Cavalry units see farther and are 20 to 50% more resistant to snare. Okay, snare resist. I like it. So if they can see farther, so I like it a lot. Once I lose my scout, I can use my cavalry for scouting, and with the snare resist, I'm actually able to like ignore the enemy army and rather run. And if they have like spearmen that would slow the cavalry units, I think this is good. I like this change. I like this change. Having cavalry not getting snared as much as they used to should be more appealing for players. I agree. Governor Zophirus Newstead Cyprus are 25% to 40% more resistant to pierce damage. So 40% pierce armor, I believe. And move 12. or 6 to 12% faster. So compared to the old, that's 10% more pierce armor. I kind of like the option, and I honestly like the sappers. However, I think this is kind of waste. Sappers are about destroying buildings, and I would rather go with Pamphilos for bonus damage against buildings for infantry. The pierce, the movement speed is definitely a nice part. The pierce armor, I would rather use like shield bearers or even siege towers to soak the pierce damage. So this kind of feels like a waste. And I've been trying during the Halloween like load siege tower with the sappers, and once I reach like fortress, I would eject them from the tower and destroy the fortress. The siege tower would be soaking the pierce damage, and since AI does not switch targets for for the defensive buildings, then it would just keep taking damage, and the sappers would easily do that damage. So I'm not a huge fan of Zephyrus on its own, but I like the change. I think it's a nice change. Yeah, those little guys could use a little bit of love, surviving all of those pesky tower and fort arrows before they could take them down. No separate. Well, if you make them take the pierce damage first, then you're doing something wrong. That's my honest opinion. Okay, Hardjar Commander, Harvard. Hardjars are 20 to 45% more resistant to pierce damage and construct buildings 10 to 40% faster. And old. Okay, so the difference is again the pierce armor goes up to 10%. I think he did not need it. He did not need this kind of change actually. I think hard. I believe Hardjars. Yeah, Hardjars actually already have some pierce armor, and just by giving them even more, that makes them very good at soaking arrows, and they naturally have high health and infantry armor as well. So that makes them good again. That makes them very defensive unit. Very defensive. They can soak a lot of damage. The only thing that would counter them afterwards would be the cavalry. I think he didn't need it. I'm okay with it since it's for PvE, but I think they did not need it that much. Caprice going curator. So changes 4 elephants cost to all gold, but increases their hit points by 10% and reduces their train time by 50%. So this is a nerf, as I see. 5% less health, 5% less training time reduced. I think, yeah, honestly, I was actually surprised how much health you actually get. And by making the change that the elephants cost only gold, you would just need the caravans to actually gather the gold for you. I mean, elephants would be still pretty expensive anyway, so yeah, you would just focus on the caravans, have enough caravans, like, I don't know, like 40 to 50, maybe around that. And then we would just keep training elephants, and with the health, it would just take forever to kill them, and then you also get the lower training time. I think this makes sense. And there's also the advisor for the damage for the elephants, for elephants. So yeah, this little bit balances it out. Like either you go full gold price with better health and training time, or you just go damage. That means you are gonna need farms. So I think this actually nicely balances out. The only nerfed advisor in this list, we believe that Egyptian war elephants power level has gone up a little more than we would like to with the addition of this sus exclusive advisor, so we are dialing down her effect a little bit. It should also make Hatshepsut's task sharpener a little bit more appealing, more damage or more health. Up to you. Exactly. King Minos, that was the snare resist, so now what? Infantry units are 50% more resistant to snare and are able to snare enemy units on attack, slowing them by 35%. So not only you get snare resistant, you also give them snare. Okay, that's a choice. I don't think I would still pick him if, since we are talking about PvE. That can be only good like against scouts, and that's about it. I don't really care about him. It's a nice change, but I don't really care about the snare thing. Anyway, the Sea General Herald, that is what cavalry. PF2K's personal knowledge, synergy with Sobek's spear sharpener. I guess that makes sense. Faster infantry, slow them so they won't run away. Yeah, it makes sense kinda. There's King Nanos. Okay, new effect. Docks and markets cost 45 to 75% less versus the one that cost. Okay, and you move to Bronze Age as well. I kinda like it. So once I reach the Bronze Age, I can go ahead and build some markets. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like I can go fast market and then use it for trade, and then I can go for docks as well. My dog's obviously only on water maps. I like it, but I don't think it's gonna be that useful. How many markets do I actually build? You should build like one market. You don't need more markets unless you wanna get your. I guess that could be a thing, like get your caravans out faster. Then you would build like for the same price you could build four markets and then just train the caravans. Yeah, I guess that would be like one thing. That could be it. That could be like against the Doomnorix. Get your either you get multiple markets and then you train get your caravans out faster, or you go Doomnorix who makes your caravans more effective and also caravans cheaper so you can afford them. I guess depends on the player. So either get them faster or make them better. King Arrows now allows players to set up their dogs or markets way faster than anyone else could. We realize that not all advisors are supposed to be equally powerful. Some are more situational than most. This one is one of them. I guess. I would not say for the dogs, but if you're all waterman, that makes sense. But I would rather have. I guess I can go cheaper dogs and cheaper ships as well. Okay, King Armor, I've been looking for this one. New effect, cavalry units regenerate free health every second. Versus the old one, cavalry units move 5%. I think once the tribal leader Andrasta, I think it's her name, that gives now 7% up to 7% movement speed to all units or all military units. Armor was just pretty much useless. You would never pick him over her. There would be no way, because you would be losing 2% movement speed. So this is a nice change. Free health, that actually makes him even better than Hyginus. So I like it. I like this option. I think this is a great advisor now. I like him a lot. I think I could pick him on certain quests. If I had to think, I might find some quests where I would pick him. I like him a lot. Already made redundant by the original development team with the advisor commander Casivellanos. I believe that's the one in Silver Age for 10% movement speed. I guess combined it could be better. It would be just a lot of movement speed, but okay. Working armor was completely power creeped into uselessness. This new effect should make for nice synergies, particularly with cavalry units already equipped with Zahak's spear or Sword of the Undead, the Halloween event weapons. Yeah, it will unite us. I'm looking for this one. Looking for this one. In fact, hoplites regenerate 1. Okay, 0.75 up to 1.5 health every second and have 6 to 15% more health versus the old hoplites are more resistant to snare and have 4 to 10% more health. I like this one. As someone who likes hoplites, I think this is great. I think this is great. I think the health should have been definitely higher than 10% because we already have the what's his name Theocles for the 10% health for all of your infantry units. So this one literally specializes you more into hoplites. So that leaves spearmen and hippospices weaker, but if you focus on the hoplites, you have great frontline unit that can take a lot of damage. And actually, with more health and also the health regen, I will even go higher with the health regen, but okay, 1.5 is pretty good enough. I like it. I like this one a lot. I think I think I'm gonna pick him on certain quests. Actually, I would pick him over Agamemnon right now. I think making great frontline units with hoplites like this, with the with more health and health regen, I like it a lot. I'm gonna enjoy him. Similar to Architect Tycho, Leonidas belongs to an era where every melee unit had snare as part of their regular melee. I honestly have no idea if that's true or not. It is no longer the case, so the snare resistance part of Leonidas' effects were made pretty useless. Yeah, pretty much. We are replacing that mechanic with more health regeneration to make this advisor more appealing. I agree. I would even go with damage if needed, but health regen it is. While also increasing the health buff that he grants hoplites. This is Sparta. This is Sparta. I'm not gonna yell that. Okay, Prince Niall Wickmedon. New effect: storehouses and ox carts cost 45 to 75% less and build and train in 20 to 50% time less time. Old effect: storehouses cost 20 to 50% less. Okay, the old effect affected ox carts as well, so that's not new. It's just been added there. So they get 25% lower cost. Okay, and build and train in less time. Okay. So what does this do? Okay, cheaper storehouses. I wouldn't care if I built storehouses faster, honestly. I can always use like multiple villagers, and usually I'm the person that puts build time reduction through the gear on the storehouses anyway. So I don't really care about the storehouses. Making them cheaper. I mean, it's from 50 wood. That depends how many storehouses you build throughout the game. I think it's gonna have better impact on the ox cards actually, because you have to train those from town center. They actually cost even more resources than storehouses. So the lower cost is already gonna be better for them. And the train time, I believe they train in 10 seconds, so lowering it down to 5 seconds. I mean, that's really good actually. That actually allows you to focus more on the villager production. So I think this is gonna be great for the Babylonian players. I definitely can see him as an option. I already don't think Irene is that great since the most expensive upgrades would be through the farming and the golden age upgrades in your storehouses, and Babylonians get the only one upgrade for farming, the first one, which is 50 wood, 200 gold. So already you're not saving resources for the other upgrades. You also get only one upgrade for the stone. So again, two times gold is pretty much common among everyone else with the berry bushes and hunting as well. And that pretty much comes to wood, and wood costs mostly food. So I think he might be actually great competition for against the Irene advisor for cheaper storehouse upgrades as Babylonian. Definitely as Babylonian. I I think the ox cards. I think namely the training time for ox cards is definitely gonna be noticeable. The cost again for ox cards, since they cost more resources. For Sifs using storehouses, I don't think that's gonna have that much impact. But hey, if you like it, you can always pick it. But I would rather stick to Irene. H1 has a handful of very powerful advisors, particularly closer organizer Irene and apprentice Mason Film. That's another thing. I would rather pick Philon for the build time for all my buildings, and that would save me more time. So for any H1 advisor to be considered useful, it needs some serious uplifting in terms of power level. So now Prince Niall Muikmedon will not only decrease the cost of storehouses and ox carts, the old developers forgot to include them, we fixed this, but he will also make the train build much faster. Yeah, I think he's gonna add to the competition. So characters, okay. New effects, all upgrades cost 20% less and research 10 to 25% faster. And the cost is 8 to 20%. The old effect, Academy upgrades cost 20 to 50% less, and now he's in Bronze Age. Okay, honestly, I think this had to happen, especially the move to the Bronze Age. I think the most important tech that I think is like the most expensive and probably the most important is actually the philosophy in Academy, and that is something you can get in Bronze Age already, but because Socrates comes in Silver Age, I think I had one option. Either I keep or delay the research of philosophy, which is one thing, because then I will reach my Silver Age much later, and then also, yeah, I would say gold, but also I would have to use the Silver Age advisor for that, which I don't like. Now that he's in Bronze Age, I think even if it was just the Academy upgrades, it would be good. But the Academy upgrades are not that expensive. Overall, I think the most expensive ones would be 100 food, 200 gold, 200 food, 100 gold, 200 wood, 300 gold, and then we have 100 wood, 100 stone, 50 wood, 50 gold. So, as you, that's not many resources from the sound of that, and I would rather go for the armory upgrades over cost. But now that he affects all of the upgrades, it's actually a different story. 20%. So we have the Akane upgrades. That already sounds good. 20% less. That sounds good. I can afford them sooner. Not only that, I can get my philosophy sooner, and I also research it faster. And then I research everything much faster, not only through philosophy but also through Socrates. There actually there can be some insane timing for aging up, and don't forget it's all upgrades. So that means even Silver Age and Golden Age upgrades are gonna cost less, and as well as the Champion upgrades and Armory upgrades as well. Yeah, yeah. I think Socrates becomes very strong powerhouse now in Bronze Age. I think he's gonna be very, very strong. I can get my text faster. Not only wait, even cheaper storehouse upgrades. That sounds so good. He sounds so good. I think he's gonna be very good. If I gonna wanna get my research done, let's say I start in Silver Age and I want my research to be done as soon as possible, then I would definitely pick Socrates so I can get it faster. It's gonna be cheaper. I can get philosophy sooner. I like him a lot. I think he's gonna be very strong now. Queen Katimandua. Move to Bronze Age. Okay. So an option for druids. It's okay. Riding instructor Solon. Okay. New stats. Hippicans gain a 15% or 6 up to 15% chance to deal a critical strike. Before it was 2 to 5%. And they needed this. He needed this. That's something he needed. So now I have an option. Either I go hell for all of my cavalry units with movement speed, or I go Hippicons with crit chance and 15%. That's not small chance. And I already made the video about crits and critical hits. So this is the same as 15% damage increase on average. So 15% more damage. It's not as strong as the one for the Persians for Cataphracts that gives 20% damage, but 15%. Cataphracts are also more expensive than Hippicons. Yeah, I like this a lot. I like this a lot. And I can even have more Hippicons than Cataphracts. Yeah, I like this a lot. It's gonna be good choice if I'm planning to go just Hippicons. Definitely choice. If I decide to go for the health, I can go for health. But that means I'm going more of a mixture. I think Solon becomes much better choice now. See Leonidas, when the advisor was created, critical hits used to deal 3 times the usual damage instead of the current 2 times. Yeah, just like I did in the crits video. I saw it being only 2 times. So we are upping his stats a little bit. Note, Hippicon's critical hit animation is currently bugged and they do not display a special animation when landing a critical strike. Yeah, I think I even didn't see the flash of light. So yeah, I had never saw the flash of light for because I think there might be a bug, yeah, but I did not worry about it. Believe it or not, this bug has been in the game since the very beginning. Oh god. Yeah, I never saw it, so I suppose it's true. It has been fixed and will be deployed with the winter event patch. Okay, like it. I like it a lot. Needed that. Psychiatric Elephant Whisperer. Elephant Archers cost 15 to 30% less gold and attack 15 to 30% faster. So not only they are cheaper, they also have more damage over time. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be annoying. I like it. I think I'm gonna use more elephant archers with this. They already cost a lot of gold, so I can save a lot of gold with this. Elephant archers, archer buffs, yay! Now the chariot archers. Chariot archers move 8 to 20% faster and can attack and see 8 to 20% farther compared to only the movement speed buff. Okay, I think that's a nice change. I definitely could use the range for the chariot archers. Great change, I like it. Sea Secrets Elephant Whisperer. Okay, so replace that with chariot art. Replace elephant with chariot. I like it. Slave driver Zephyros. New effect. Villagers move. That's the same as also 10 to 25% faster. Carry 10 to 25% more resources. Okay, so they carry more, and you've been moved to H1 actually. Okay, so movement speed and carry resources. Carry resources, that means they just spent more time collecting resources rather than traveling between the source and storehouse. So that's already buff on its own. So less time spent traveling, and then you also get the movement speed. So that means once they start traveling, they spend less time traveling. Okay. Okay, not bad. This can definitely help. I can see early game. The problem with the getting more resources I see is it delays. It delays when they will drop their resources. But when they do, they'll actually drop more resources. So that's a nice thing. I think it's noticeable mainly in the early game because you don't have enough wood to actually afford that many storehouses. But once you afford the storehouses, then the movement speed is kind of a waste since you build storehouses as close to the source of the resources as close as possible, so your villagers already don't spend that much time traveling. So I think this is gonna be already kind of a waste. Carry resources, they just delays when they will drop it. That's all I see. I can see it early when you can afford the storehouses, but that's about it. So you can get your resources faster and you get more. That's about it, yeah, pretty much. I'm thinking, so it's pretty much like one more upgrade for the, I think it's the wheelbarrow upgrades in town center. Yeah, so he pretty much like imp like adds one more upgrade for that and it's free. What about Babylonians? For Babylonians, this actually sounds bad. The movement speed is kind of waste because I can always put my villagers on the into the ox cart and then they can travel. And ox cart already gets the upgrade for movement speed, so the movement speed is kind of wasted. For the other saves, yeah, the movement speed can help me get the villagers to where I need them to actually build some forward base, so that can be good. But I usually keep them close. It's an option. It's an option. But for the Babylons, the movement speed is definitely a waste. I can always use the ox cart. Carry more. Again, it just delays, and they Babylonians don't need it because they have the ox cart, so they can drop it into the ox carts. And ox carts are literally standing right behind them, so kind of waste. I would not use him on Babylonians, but I can see him being used for the other civs. But I don't know. I find him strong, but not as strong as Irene. I think Mukmeron is much better for that. Sandal Maker, that is movement speed for infantry and priest units for the Egyptian. Then you are moved to Silver Age. Okay, so that kinda makes me ignore the Silver Age advisor for infantry movement speed already. So you already beat him. And don't forget about the legendary advisor for infantry now. So they get you go up to 15% and then they get also 25%. That's a lot of movement speed. It's it's even more movement speed than Celts. Yeah, that sounds very good. But I would not rely only on infantry and priests. Not only priestesses, it can be even priests of Ptah, right? It's gonna be like infantry to fight the enemy units and priests to convert the enemy buildings. I guess that can be a strategy. Only one problem: get through the walls. The X-Men actually get the splash damage, so I would still get some catapults or even elephants. Check out Second Spear Sharpener and this advisor together ultimate synergy. Yeah, I can see it. Village Elder, new stats. Villagers and caravans train in 15% less time. Old stats, villagers train in 8% less time. So you doubled the effectiveness and added it to the caravans. Say, shame you are Bronze Sage, but he would definitely go well together with King Nanos. I would get cheaper caravans and then you would also lower their training time. I think for villagers it's definitely worth. I want to get out my villagers as soon as possible, so yeah, village elder becomes pretty viable. And then once I start getting caravans out, I want to get them out as soon as possible as well. Yeah, I think it's gonna be viable. Village elder is a pushover no longer. Woodsman Valley new effect. Houses cost 45 to 75% less wood and built in 20 to 50% less time. So it's like Moikmena but for houses. Old effect, houses cost 6 to 15% less wood. So that's a huge buff actually. I think it's a huge buff no matter what because that means I can get my space for the population a lot sooner and also less time spent building those houses. So yeah, I can get the high population sooner. That's actually pretty good. It's good on any save, pretty much. I think the most noticeable, I would say, are gonna be the Celts because they need the houses to actually reach the next age. So them getting the houses as soon as possible is very important. I think huge impact. Celts, I think he's gonna be strong. It's the same as Muikmedon, and houses are something I definitely get. I definitely built a lot of houses, so I would rather go with Vale over Muikmedon. So even better, I would say. Houses are very important. And if I lose some, hey, I can rebuild them. I can use them as walls as well, I suppose. While being very situation, the old effect of this advisor was simply not good enough for him to be considered as an option in practically any situation. This huge buff should change that, particularly for the Celtic civilization. Exactly. As we will in the content, we'll be keeping an eye. Blah blah blah. With this patch, the drop rates for all advisors in the game have been reduced. The drop rates for legendary advisors have been reduced the most, so think twice before venturing them. Okay, so that means once I get them, I need to be sure that I have them. Well, that's easy. All I have to do is check it. Remember to check. Important note 2, you do not need to loot these advisors again. All of the mentioned changes will be applied to advisors automatically. Okay. When you log into your civilizations after the patch is live, all of your advisors will be unequipped and you will have to equip them again. But don't worry, you won't be losing any of your existing advisors. Okay, what do you think? Blah blah blah. I like these changes. If we take a look from the start, he needed it, needed. It's gonna be very situational. I like it. I like it. I like it. Like it. I like it. Probably won't pick it that much, if at all. But I like it. It's absolutely more useful. It's a buff, but I don't really care. It's a buff. I think too much. It's a nerf, which leaves the others an option. I like it then. It's an option. I like it as an option. This is very good option. I like it very much. And I can get it through skirmish no matter what. So already great choice. Stronger hop plates. I like it. They needed this. They definitely needed this. Yeah, Mukmadon. I think he's gonna be strong. He's gonna be definitely. He's gonna be strong. Don't know how much. So good. Wait. Definitely on Babylonian. I like him on Babylonian. The others a little bit less, but still an option. Socrates, I like him a lot. I think he's gonna be very strong for the Greeks. Okay, so better druids early. I like him a lot. He needed it. Those two are definitely something I like to see as an option. I guess you're good, but I don't really think I'll use you. Maybe situational quests. I like this. Just goes well with the legendary advisor. I like this a lot. It's an option to get your villagers out sooner, and I think this is very strong. I can see this. So, eh, I guess that's all of the advisor changes. I like them a lot, except except for the Greek legendary one. Yeah, I guess. That's all.
So, you made it through the first day. Not much of a challenge. Just checking on your friends. But there's always gonna be more challenging the following days. Just be ready for those. Some of them might prove to be dreadful.